In this video, we are going to go through the steps needed to install Swim Designer and Windows Builder with the goal of creating a basic graphic user interface application, in this case a login screen. We are not going to focus in the actions behind the different fields that we have here and buttons, because we are going to focus only on the design, which means that we don't need to read the username, password, neither create an action for this login button. In order to do this, we need to first install the Windows Builder or the Suite Designer, of both of them. And the way that we're going to do it is going to help and going to install new software. Once that we are there, we can select from here, from the options, any of them that say download Eclipse or org, and you have different versions that will go through with the updates of them. Actually, this is a better option. And once that we are here, you will see that they will load some of the options that you have, and we want to go to general purposes tools. General purposes tools, we want to scroll down until we find Windows Builder. In my case, because I already have it installed, it will I have that it hides the items that I have already installed. You should be able to see a lot of more options than this. For example, you will be able to see some options like all of these options once you are scrolling down from general purposes tools, and you want to select them all. You want to select all of the options related to Windows Builder and Swim Designer. Once you select them all, you will be able to click next. For example, let's say that this is one of my options. I click next and I need to wait until it installs. Sometimes it will ask you for some extra permissions. You just click OK, and if you consider that you want to move forward with installation, you will see in the bottom of your IDE the installation process. You just need to wait for it, and after it finishes, it will ask you to restart Eclipse. Okay, so we are ready for creating our first design. So we want to create something like this, but you don't see that at the beginning. Let's say that I don't have even none of the projects here. So I will close this. I have nothing. I want to create a new project, and it will be a new Java project. I will give an example, a trial GUI, and I will click next. Yes, done everything. And once I do that, then I cancel it, I will have my folder. This is the frame that I already created, but we don't need to focus on that. You don't have that. So once you have your folder, you just need to go to the directory, the source directory, and create a new file that will allow you to create the different frames and applications. So you want to go to other, and in other you're going to find Windows Builder, which is what you just installed. And in Windows Builder you have Swim Designer, and specifically you want to select application window, which is what you saw in my example of the login screen at the beginning. You select application windows and click next. You give it a name, for example, login screen, and click next or finish. Once you create your file, you will have it take you to the root of the file, but you want to focus on the design part. So you need to click on the design tab here. Once you have the design tab open, you can see now that you have a blank application, a graphic user interface. If you run this, you will see that you have a blank screen. We want to populate this with the different items that we saw in that sample before. And in order to start working with the design part, we just need to make sure that we add our layout, our absolute layout. So we click one and then just click again, and it will add the absolute layout to the whole screen here, or the whole frame. Once you have that, you can minimize this so that you can focus in the different components that are the one that you want to use to populate the screen. And for example, you will start with a button. Let's say that we have a button that will be for login. Look that it not the name of the button is just new button. So once we select the item, we're going to see here in text we can change the name. Let's say login. And when I click here, I will see that the changes are implemented. I can change the color of the font here. I will put my face here now. And you can also change the background color. You can change the name of the variable that is behind that button, but we're gonna do that whenever we have to take action with this button. The next thing that you want to add is some text field, which are for reading the user input on password, which is a label and username. So the same as the bottom, we are going to select here the corresponding, write the corresponding text that we want to show, password, and then 2 points. And we can do the same for, and just decide, do the same for username. Now, I can copy this, so I don't need to create it again and write it. And I want to change this for username. If the size of your rectangles are not enough for being able to see the whole text, you can resize it as ever you prefer. Okay, just gonna go Command Z to go back. Remember that you can also, the same way that you change the color of the text, you can change the type of text that you have, or the type of font that you have. Let's say that I want it bold 14, and you see how it changed. Now we also need another text field for username. We have it here. And finally, we want another label for the title, right? In this case, because it's a title, we want to make sure that the title is in a bigger font than the other text. And make sure you change it. Welcome to my program. And remember, you can adjust the size of it, and you have the alignment, top, center, however you prefer. And finally, you can change the color as well. Let's say we went for green before. Let's just select another green. Here it is. I'm sure that you can do a better job making the design and selection of colors, but this is it. You have now a window screen that when you run it, this is what you're going to see. You see username, John Hernandez, and password, blah blah blah. Later we're gonna identify this as a password field, and then we will not be able to see the test when you type in. Click on login and nothing happened now, but later we're going to add some actions to this button. Thank you. Bye bye.